Ronco.
What is up? Welcome back to another episode of the news. It is Monday, July 20th, 2026, and we have so much to get in today. Before we get into that, I want to give a quick shout out to the members of the channel, the Bronco Buddies, whose names were featured during the intro. Remember, if you join the channel, not only do you support me, the work I do here, any medical bills that might have arisen in the last few weeks, but you also get access to exclusive content, early access to other content, and the ability to vote on upcoming videos. So if you don't miss out on those perks, feel free to join the channel, support me. I greatly appreciate it. If you can't join, all good. Just like the video and subscribe. That helps out a bunch as well. The thumbs up on this hand is not flying just yet, but that does mean a lot. So please go ahead and do that if you can. It would mean a lot. Before we get into the pulse check, quick update vis-a-vis the situation here. Surgery went well. There's a titanium plate in here at this moment and a lot of screws. The discomfort has been pretty substantial, and the effects of the medication have been nothing short of mind-boggling. So it's not been a very productive week as I had kind of anticipated, but all that being said, I still have a bunch of content to be putting out in the next few days, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Nothing's gonna stop me from doing the news videos, okay? So no need to fear about that. Out of the way, let's jump into the pulse check. As you know, this is something we do every week, going over some of the market that might affect film prices, other things like that. We'll kind of keep it brief because, as I mentioned, there's a lot of actual news stuff to get into. We'll begin with the crude oil futures, which right now have risen to about $82. They previously experienced a high on Friday, and it looks like they're climbing back up to there. Obviously, there's a lot of things happening that affects that. We might talk about that next week, depending on how slow things are. But let's dive into the silver prices, which are actually down to just under $57, which is pretty reasonable. They've kind of dipped over the past 5 days, definitely dipped over the past month. Very good to see that. And then we will go into the Kodak stock price, which has also kind of fallen quite a bit to about the $7.60 a share range, which isn't terrible, but it's definitely, as mentioned, on the decline, which is to be anticipated, as it had risen up to that $13, $14 mark. People began to sell, and then the value then drops. It happens, but very good to see that they're still kind of performing relatively well. And we'll have plenty more to talk about regarding Kodak in a little bit. I'll begin today with a story that is not really at all related to film photography, but it is related to the second channel, which I encourage you to go check out right here. Should have another video coming out on that very soon. But until then, there is a video on there currently with me and my buddies going out to Tillamook to shoot some expired film. And it's a video I'm incredibly proud of, so I would greatly appreciate if you go watch it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. But in that video, we kind of allude to the fact that the Tillamook Air Museum, which is the largest indoor wooden building in the world used to construct blimps way back when, had incurred some damage to the roof. And there was an article I saw the other day that basically looks like they're going to be working on fixing that in August, which is fantastic news because the damage, I believe, happened last winter, and they were kind of concerned about not being able to provide the funds to correct the damage. So I just thought that was great. Go check out that video if you want to see some of the damage. Just kind of cool to see that restoration happening. But moving into some other stuff, we have some lucky color film news. As I'm sure most of you watching are, I am eagerly awaiting the release of Lucky C400. I think that it's going to be great. But until then, there's a new provider of Lucky C200 coming at us from the Film Photography Project. So I will link their website down below if you want to check it out. I believe they're selling them for $14.99 a roll. So a little bit steeper than Reflex Labs and a little bit steeper than the Find Lab. But it's there. So if you're interested, more power to you. Now we move into the fun part of the news, which is all of the new cameras, because there's actually a few new cameras that are now out that have been released this week or things of that nature. Beginning, of course, with the new Kodak Reto camera. This is, I believe, double check the name. I think it's the C35? EC35, 35mm film camera. And as I would like to lovingly call it, this is the Olympus stylus that we have at home. Has a kind of similar clamshell opening, although it is lacking pretty much all the features such as the autofocus, the auto wind. It does have a flash, but it's very manual little plastic shell camera with a clamshell design, which is kind of cool. These are going right now for about $35 on the website. It comes in a whole variety of colors, some of which are now sold out, but there's midnight black, vanilla white, butter yellow, lavender, powder blue, bluish pink, which makes no sense, and avocado green. There is an automatic shutter lock to prevent accidental shots of, because I was thinking, like, surely they wouldn't sell a product that you could take a photo of the inside of the clamshell, and they have not done that, which that's a very, very good thing there. But it looks kind of cool. Looks like it could be a fun little camera if you're into that kind of thing. But not to be outdone by that, Fuji has kind of linked up with a Japanese company called Beams, which I think is like clothing and stuff like that. They're celebrating their 10th anniversary, and in doing so, they've released a silicone cover for a disposable Fuji camera. It's orange. It looks really cool. I think it's only available in Japan. And I think you can get it with a bundle pack with a Fuji quick snap camera. So that's kind of cool. If you want to customize your quick snap, you don't like the design of it, you want it to be more orange than it is, then there you go. There's a product for you there. Speaking of things that are looking slightly different but are an existing product, the Instax Mini 99 is being released in silver. That's kind of cool, very classic design there. If you're interested, there it is for you. We also have, in the same vein of Instax stuff, some price changes were noted on the Instax wide film on the B&H site. The prices look like they're potentially going up soon, if not already. So I will put the photo. I just basically screenshotted a story. So if you want to follow her on Instagram, I encourage you to do that. There's Polacon in Portland. So if you are Portland based or Washington based and you want to check out Polaroid photography, check it out. We have one final camera, which I don't think I put on here, even though I have it pulled up. I think I have it pulled up. Do I have it pulled up? Yes. This is the Lomography half-frame simple use reloadable film camera, black and white. This is a mouthful of a title for a camera, but it is a very small half-frame reloadable disposable camera platform. Obviously shoots 35mm, comes preloaded with Lady Gray film, their black and white film stock, and it's a very simple, easy to use camera that you can actually put new film in afterwards. There's basically no settings to it. It just is like a disposable system with a flash, and that's pretty much it. It's supposed to ship relatively soon. Looks like it's coming in just short of $30. So if that is something you're potentially interested in, a little bit of a thing from Light Lens Lab, they posted something regarding a potential camera that they're developing. Looks like there's going to be an update coming out relatively soon on that, as well as another post that alludes to some peel apart film that they're potentially toying with. We know that they've been discussing this a lot in the past, and this is just another Instagram post to kind of promote that idea. So hopefully we'll get an update on their website soon. We can talk about it in greater detail. But until then, just some little stuff to be excited about. I want to jump back really quickly to Film Photography Project stocking Lucky C200. I forgot to mention, but they do have it in 620 film as opposed to just the 120 and 35mm. But still, if you have a 620 camera and you really wanted to shoot Lucky, there's an option for you now to do so. Other film related news, including but not limited to a new black and white stock coming at us from Optik Old School. This is a monopan 100 film. It is an Orwo based film. It looks like it's going on pre-sale right now for like $7.99 a roll, which is pretty reasonable. If you're interested and you like Orwo black and white stuff, then maybe check that out. Also have a new tease of a new film from Flic Film. This is their Street Candy 200 film. It looks a little bit more vibrant than the Fusion film. Don't really know what it is. Not that it even matters what it is, but that is a new film that's potentially coming out soon, I believe later this month. This just popped up on Instagram. I'm not sure how relevant this is. I don't really stay up to date with the Reto Amber products, but they just announced their new AHU films, which are the Kodak motion picture films, but they're AHU, so they're able to be developed in C41 as opposed to ECN2. They're going to be lacking a lot of the halation that the earlier Amber model films had, which was kind of a ripoff of the Cinestill films. I don't know what the pricing of these are just yet, but I think retailers have this film. I feel like with Amber products, I feel like I've seen them before everywhere, but I never know like if it's new or if it's old. So I don't know. This popped up and I was like, I feel like I've seen this already, but allegedly it might be new, or this is just a promotional thing and I'm a sucker for talking about it, but that's okay. Other thing I saw on Instagram that I thought was fun was this 35mm camera that was outfitted onto an RC plane. Fantastic. I will link the creator down below. I'll show the videos here. Check that out if you want to have I don't know, something funny to watch. Very creative. Love to see it. We've seen this before with like motion picture films, but I don't think I've seen it before with like still photography, so that's kind of cool. We also have a new video from UK4 Camera. This is just the full build out of their aluminum based camera build, and it looks pretty phenomenal if I do say so myself. Our two final stories are pretty substantial stories from pretty substantial places regarding developing, processing film. We're going to begin with one that I had previously poo-pooed a little bit, as a lot of other people have. And while I do think it's fair when you see like these great grand projects pop up, skepticism is helpful. I oftentimes lean on the side of I just want to support as much as I can by talking about it. And then there are times where I'm like, oh, this seems like a little bit dodgy. But this is an instance in which I'm going to potentially rescind some of my earlier skepticism and instead just talk about the product and the update. This is the Soak Engineering Knokke Scanner. I always get those two flipped up, but as you know, I spoke about this a few weeks ago or a month or so ago. Not entirely sure. Time flies when you're on a lot of pain medication. And basically, the Instagram had gone dark, the website had gone dark, hadn't heard anything from them for a while, but they are now back. This is confirmed in a email that I received from them, confirmed in their Instagram coming back, and their website coming back. And a few of the major points about the website is that it now has actual downloadable scanned images that you can see for yourself the quality of the scanning that it does. Because that was one of the main criticisms previous to this was, where are the scans? Where are the scans? Like, we can see that it runs through the film fast, but like, what are the scans looking like? And I am not an expert in this, but it does look pretty good. The design itself looks fantastic. I really am a sucker for this kind of minimalist design. But it does look like it is kind of the goods, which is nice to see. One of the main points as to why it took them so long to get this off the ground was a batch of like boards had failed. So they had to kind of work around that and stuff. I can't even imagine the amount of headaches that goes into this, so it is what it is. I appreciate the fact that they're open and honest and communicating the fact afterwards, but still, that is something that is now out there, and check it out if you're interested. And then the final news is something that I am eagerly awaiting, and this is the Project Frank. Now, it was teased on their Instagram last week that there would be an update tomorrow, the 21st. So I reached out to them just to say like, hey, can I get some just early insight as to some of the stuff, or could we, talk about it next week or anything like that? They were kind enough to share pretty much everything they're going to share tomorrow with me today. So this is kind of exclusive information for the 10 or so of you out there who are interested. I myself am one of those because this project looks phenomenal. This, as you may know, is the developing tank that is going to be available if you shoot Super 8 or 16mm film, motion picture styles. Everything is contained in a tank. You load it onto a reel. It agitates, it computates, and all this other stuff. You basically just pour in the preheated chemicals and it takes care of the rest. It's a pretty phenomenal looking product thus far. I myself very excited about it. There's going to be an Indiegogo that launches on July 31st, and it's running until September 11th. The campaign goal will be 20,000 euros, so if they get that, that's good stuff. That's enough for first production. There are goals past that point. 50,000 you get instead of 3D printed to injection molding for the reel, and then the 100,000 euro goal is everything's injection molded, the tank as well. There will of course be probably more to go over tomorrow once all the details are out there, and I probably will make a separate video talking about it, if not talk about it again next week, just to kind of get some more eyes on the potential Indiegogo account. Because I think this is a phenomenal product if you are a small lab, or if you're an individual or a school or anything like that. If you're interested in shooting Super 8 or 16mm, stuff like this I think just lowers that threshold even greater for people to get into. Beyond that though, it does appear as though there's going to be a slight price increase from their initial pitched price. They don't have the number for that yet, but I will keep you all apprised. I'm sure when the Indiegogo launches, then they'll definitely have the number by then. But yeah, that is it for the news today. As I mentioned, there's a lot to go through, and I feel like I might have missed something somewhere in there. Hopefully I didn't. I got a lot of people reaching out for different stories. I appreciate everyone who did so. Also, worth noting that the other day I went to a bakery up the hill and I ran into a guy that used to come into the shop I worked at all the time. That was pretty cool, and I was kind of in a rush. I said hi, we chatted for a little bit. Recently got a mini speed Graflex camera, I think it was, and I hope that works out. I'm very excited to hear how that goes. Really, really nice guy. Thanks for saying hey. Sorry for being in a bit of a rush there, but that was great. Anyway, that's it for the news. Let's jump into the shoutouts. As always, we'll begin with my good friends over the Colorful Analog Cameras, whose great work is featured right behind me here. Since I've been unable to use both my hands, I have been utilizing the leather straps that you sent me. I have a couple of videos where I mention it. I've yet to edit them yet, but I have to say, I'm not a big strap person all the time, but these things are phenomenal. Definitely enjoy it, and I encourage you to check out her website. Go follow her on Instagram. Because she's not going to have a lot of strap releases, but when she does, make sure that you get one because they are really, really good, I think. So go check that out. Then we have my good friend Taylor Sanders and his phenomenal YouTube channel. He recently posted a video about his trip to Japan. His photography is next level. Go watch that video. Go give him a subscription, all that good stuff. Then we have my good friends over the Shy Film Club and the Shy Film Lab with their sick new logo. Genuinely amazing work. Go check him out on Instagram. Make sure to tag Shy Film Club if you want the opportunity for your work to be featured. Also, if you are in the greater Portland area and you need your film developed, there's going to be some huge news regarding that very soon. But until then, just reach out and see if you can figure out a way to get him your film. Fantastic work as always. Very excited about that. We also have my good friend Matt up at Ravenni Labs, producing very high quality products to test your film, cameras, make sure everything is properly exposed, all sorts of good stuff there. My good friends over at the Celluloid Collective, go give them a follow, check out their YouTube channel, their website's back up and running. Go check it out if you are in the need for some expired film. And then finally, we have the app With Frames, the best way to digitally catalog your analog photography. Download it for your computer or your phone on the App Store. Give it a 5-star review. Check them out on social media. All kinds of good stuff. Thank you all so very much for watching. I appreciate it a bunch. Like I said, it's getting there. Okay, we're healing. Okay, I'm hoping to kind of be a bit more up and running soon. Get back to repairing stuff and get back to making some more content. Should have some updates later this week, some new videos and things like that, but we'll just have to kind of play it by ear. So thank you all very much for your patience. I greatly appreciate it. Remember to like the video and subscribe. I appreciate that. And go check out the second channel as well. That Tillamook video is great. I think it deserves more views personally, but you know, watch it for yourself and then let me know what you think. Leave a comment whether you think it deserves a new view or not. Thank you again, and I'll catch you all on the next one.